You have heard it said, love your neighbour and hate your enemy. But I'm here to tell you a deeper reality. Life is constructed to operate only upon the law of love. So if you want to live, love your enemies and pray for those who mistreat you, so that you may live as sons and daughters of your Father in heaven. He is constantly giving of himself for the good of all, causing the sun to rise on the evil and the good, and sends the rain on the righteous and unrighteous. If you love only those who love you, what difference will that make? For selfishness still lives in your heart. Don't those who you consider evil do that much? And if you show hospitality only to your family, how is your love greater than others? Don't even pagans do that? Live in harmony with God's design for life. Be perfect in love, just as your Father in heaven is perfect.
Yes, Eve.
The Bible also says that in Ephesians 6 that we do not struggle against flesh and blood.
Yes.
And then in Romans we're reminded that we're to hate what is evil. We're not to hate the people.
Yeah.
We think of enemies as people who are against us, but that is not the enemy.
Yeah.
And if we think of it that way, then it makes sense when God says, love your enemies, do good to them.
Right.
Because in doing that, you could win them over. And that is so godlike.
Exactly. It is what he does.
His enemies, and he won us over.
Well said.
What is your favorite story about Jesus and why? That's a tough one because I have several that are my favorites. And so I don't think I can just pick one, but they all have similar aspects. Talking about stories, not achievements. Achievements, of course, is Gethsemane of the cross. Story, Jesus washing Judas' feet. What's it say about God that he washes the feet of his known betrayer? It's not that he didn't know and I found out later. He knew. And he treated his betrayer that way. How will he treat you and me? That was a good one. And then how he treated not just the woman caught in adultery, but the people who were setting him up and trying to trap him when he knew all their sins. And he didn't expose them publicly. He wrote them in the sand and protected the reputations of his enemies. Those two stories, very powerful. Very powerful.
Commandments I give unto you, that you love one another, as I have loved you, also love one another. And new commandments I give unto you, that you love one another as I have loved you. Also love one another. By this shall all men know that you are my disciples. By this shall all men know if you love one another. A new commandment I give unto you, if you love one another as I have loved you. Also love one another. Let not your heart be troubled. Ye believe in God. Let not your heart be troubled. Believe also in me. A new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another as I have loved you. Also love one another. A new commandment I give unto you, that you love one another as I have loved you. Also love